air. Have you ever felt empty after opening your heart to someone who didn't value it? Untitled. Have you ever shared your pain only to find it became gossip in someone else's story? Life teaches us silently, but powerfully. Not every soul is ready to carry the weight of your truth. Some people listen to respond, few listen to understand, and fewer still listen with compassion. Today, I invite you not to shut your heart, but to protect it, not to stop sharing, but to be selective, because your personal life is sacred. It's a divine gift, and not everyone deserves access to your inner temple. In a world where everything is overshared, on screens, in chats, in casual conversations, our sacred moments, struggles, and personal journeys often get diluted. We forget that not everything needs an audience. Not every tear needs a witness. And not every dream should be spoken aloud. Just like we don't show the blueprint of a building before it's built, we must not reveal the blueprint of our life before it's ready. Because what's still growing in silence gets weakened when exposed too soon. So today, Unvisional, let's go deeper into understanding why protecting your personal life is not secrecy, but spiritual wisdom. It's not about mistrusting people. It's about trusting your own journey and the timing of the universe. There is a sacredness in your personal life that goes far beyond the everyday interactions we engage in. The thoughts you think when you're alone, the dreams that you nurture quietly at night, Envisional, the struggles you don't speak about, and silent Envisional, and the silent prayers you whisper when no one's watching. These are not just parts of your life. These are sacred flames burning at the altar of your soul. And when something is sacred, it is not to be handled carelessly or exposed casually. Your personal life is not a public display. It is your inner sanctum, your private temple, where the most intimate conversations between your heart and the divine take place. Think about it. A diamond is not displayed on every street corner. It's kept safe, treasured, polished, and only brought out in moments of deep meaning. In the same way, Envisional, your experiences, especially the most personal ones, are the diamonds of your journey. When you share them too freely, you risk having them misunderstood, mocked, judged, or even used against you. That doesn't mean people are always bad. Envisional. It means everyone is ready to hold something that precious with the care it deserves. Envisional. Imagine telling someone your biggest fear or your deepest pain. Visional. Only to watch them respond with shallow advice or half-hearted sympathy. Envisional. It leaves you feeling more exposed than comforted. Doesn't it? That's Envisional. That's because when we share our personal life with someone who lacks the capacity to honor it, Visional, we feel emotionally robbed. It's not their fault entirely. It's ours too. It's ours for expecting depth from a shallow pond. Let's take a daily life example. Suppose you're working on a new idea, a business, an artwork, a project that could change your life. It's in the early stages. It's fragile, it's full of energy, yet ready to stand strong. In visional, you're excited and you feel the urge to tell someone. So you do. And their response is lukewarm, dismissive, or worse. Negative. Suddenly, your excitement diminishes. You start to doubt yourself. Maybe they're right, you think. Maybe I'm not ready. But were you doubting yourself before you told them? No, the problem wasn't your idea. The problem was exposing your dream before it had strong roots. Your personal life works the same way. When something is growing inside you, healing, confidence, clarity, or a new beginning, it needs silence, not exposure. Growth happens in hidden places. Seeds grow in the dark soil, not on a stage. Babies grow in the womb, not in the open. Spiritual transformation happens behind closed doors, not on social media. In our world today, where oversharing has become a norm, we forget that not everything needs to be posted, tweeted, or told. Sharing makes us feel seen, but not always understood. There is a huge difference. Being understood requires depth from both the speaker and the listener, and depth is rare. It's a treasure, not a trend. In visional, there's a beautiful strength in being selective about who you open your heart to. In visional, that doesn't mean you live in suspicion or isolation. It means you live in wisdom. In visional, you need not to hide your life out of fear. You protect it out of love. For yourself, for your journey, for divine visional, and for the divine energy shaping your path. When you live like this, you begin to glow differently. Your silence speaks volumes. Your peace becomes magnetic and higher in visional. And people start to wonder what makes you so centered, so calm, so powerful without ever needing to explain everything. You're not being fake when you don't share everything. You're being spiritual, because spirituality isn't about putting your life on display. It's about honoring the sacredness of the process you're in. It's about trusting that the divine is watching even when no one else is. Lean visional. It's about knowing that you are here to impress others with your vulnerability. You are here to evolve, and when the time is right, your life will speak for itself. The success you once protected will shine. In visional, the healing you kept silent will show in your energy. The battles you fought quietly will echo in your strength. Visional. You won't need to explain how far you've come. It will be visible in the way you carry yourself, or in visionals, in the serenity of your words and in the grace of your presence. So the next time you feel the urge to share something personal, pause. Ask yourself, does this person have the spiritual maturity to hold my truth gently? Does this moment feel safe? Or am I simply looking vision for validation? The answers to these questions will guide you toward wisdom. And wisdom will always lead you back to silence. Sacred, powerful, beautiful silence. A silence that protects, heals, and honors your soul. Envisional. Sometimes when you speak your truth, envisional, it doesn't land in someone else's heart the way it came from yours. It leaves your lips as pure emotion. Soft, raw, genuine. But by the time it reaches the other person, it's already passed through 1,000 visible in layers, their past, their insecurities, their assumptions, their fears, their ego. This is what we must remember. People envisioner. People don't hear you as you are, they hear you as they are. Envisional. Your words may be clean, but their interpretation might be stained. Imagine talking to someone about a recent failure, something that hurt you deeply, but taught you a valuable lesson. Envisional. You share your experience with an open heart, hoping to find understanding or at least some space to release your burden. But the listener, instead of offering empathy, immediately starts listing what you should have done. Or worse, they respond with, "That's nothing. Let me tell you what happened to me." And suddenly, you're no longer heard. You feel invisible. What was meant to be a connection turns into frustration. This happens not because you're wrong, but because the person listening through the lens of their own world. Visional. If someone's filter is clouded by judgment, they will judge. If it's tainted by pride, they'll compete. If it's shaped by a lack of self-awareness, they'll completely miss the point. It's not always their fault, nor yours. It's simply a reminder and that not every soul is meant to understand your language. Envisional. You could be speaking from the heart, but they're hearing with their wounds. This is why we must become wise about when, how, and to whom we express ourselves. Every person carries their own emotional baggage. Their reactions aren't always about you. Often, they're mirrors reflecting back their own unresolved pain. You share vulnerability. They hear weakness. You express frustration. They hear blame. You speak your joy, and they feel envy. Envisional. It's not your words. It's their filters. Totally envisional. And just like a radio cannot tune into a frequency it's not designed to catch, people can only receive what their inner maturity allows. That's why even in a room full of listeners, very few actually listen. We live in a time where many hear, but few understand. And once you truly grasp this, your expectations begin to shift. You stop explaining everything. You stop in oversharing. You stop bleeding your emotions in front of those who are not trained to heal. Envisional, but may poke and judge. This brings us to something even more powerful: silence. Silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as emptiness or suppression. But silence isn't the absence of expression. It is the presence of wisdom. When you remain silent, especially during emotional storms, you're not losing. You're protecting. Just like a seed chooses to stay buried until it's strong enough to sprout, your silence becomes a cocoon for your thoughts, your feelings, and your plans. What is still delicate doesn't need noise, it needs nurturing. In daily life, Untitled, you may notice how silence often speaks louder than words. Think of a moment when someone wrongs you, and instead of reacting or defending, you chose to stay quiet. Not out of fear, but from the strength of knowing your truth doesn't need loudness. It needs clarity. In that quietness, you held dignity. You chose peace over argument. And that silence didn't make you weak, it made you powerful. Similarly, when something good is happening in your life, like an idea forming, a relationship blooming, or a transformation unfolding, you may feel the urge to shout it out to the world. Untitled, but silence teaches you restraint, not out of secrecy, but out of reverence. You begin to see that not every good thing needs applause. Some blessings lose their power when exposed too soon. Some some journeys lose their momentum when narrated before they've even begun. Have you ever noticed how monks, sages, and deeply spiritual people often speak less? It's not because they have nothing to say. It's because they've mastered the art of internal alignment. Their silence isn't void. It's vibrating with insight, observation, and presence. When you sit with such a person, you feel peace. Not because of what they say, but because of what they withhold. That same energy can exist in you. In your everyday life, Untitled, practice the power of silent observation. When someone criticizes you unfairly, let silence be your answer. When someone gossips about you, let silence be your response. When you are misunderstood, Untitled, let silence be your strength, not your anger. Because silence doesn't mean you're not aware. It means you're deeply aware, but choose not to be reactive. It's emotional elegance. Your silence protects your energy. It shields your progress. It guards your inner temple from unnecessary intrusion. And the beauty is, when you remain silent in front of those who expect a reaction, they begin to reflect. Your calmness becomes a mirror. Your stillness becomes a teacher. And slowly, Untitled, you rise above situations that once disturbed you. In a world where emotions are often treated like open books for everyone to read, there is a sacred strength in selective sharing. This is not about becoming closed or disconnected from others. It is about becoming deeply aware who deserves access to your sacred space. Your thoughts, your memories, your wounds, your dreams. They are not casual topics for light-hearted conversations. They are spiritual materials, and just like valuable treasures, they must be handled with care. Sharing them with the wrong person can damage not just the moment, but the trust and confidence you've built within yourself. Think of your heart as a beautiful, ancient manuscript. Not everyone has the wisdom to read it. Some people will flip through the pages without understanding the meaning. Some lay visional. Some will tear out parts and repeat them in the wrong context. Others might